1310KFKA.com. For analysis, joined this morning by Alex Smith, College Republican National Committee Chair for the Republican National Committee. Hey, Alex.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
You bet. Thanks for taking the time. You know, I wanted to start with you because one of your colleagues, and this is somebody that I'm sure you probably know or are aware of, I found this absolutely amazing. Cabot Phillips, the media director over at Campus Reform. Did you happen to see this story? He goes to New York University, okay, a few days before the announcement is even made. He interviews students asking them what they, air quote, thought of the president's Supreme Court pick. One student said he's quite extreme in his views, referring to the fictitious pick. Another student said, I saw it all over the news, that he's like racist. He's starting a new wave of something very negative. I'm really scared about the future and what choices he will make. Even one faculty member described witnessing outrage as it should be. Oh, the resistance is strong, is it not?
I did happen to see that yesterday. And, you know, so I actually currently serve as executive director of America Rising PAC. We do opposition research on Democratic candidates. But in my prior role as national chair for college Republicans, unfortunately, it was something I saw on campus all too often. Which is that, you know, there was a lot of misinformation, and a lot of it was perpetuated by the administration and by the professors. You know, these are people who have an agenda. They're not there simply to teach students and to teach them how to think. They're there to teach them what they think. And so I think that, you know, that video, it's laughable, but it's sad on many different levels.
And meanwhile, you've got Nancy Pelosi raising money, vowing to avenge the fact that Merrick Garland did not get a hearing under the Obama administration. Should someone remind Nancy Pelosi that the confirmation is a Senate, not a House responsibility?
Yeah, I felt like sending Nancy Pelosi a copy of Article 1 there.
Right.
You know, she seems to be a little unfamiliar with the process. You know, it really speaks to the Democrats' leaderless state right now. They don't really have any person or idea to coalesce behind, and this is exactly what we saw when the president, or when Justice Kennedy retired, and the president announced that he was going to, nominate a replacement for him. The Democrats didn't know what to do. So we saw the Democratic Party sort of break down into a couple different camps. There was like the incoherent resist camp where I'll put Nancy Pelosi. People like Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, just absolutely lighting themselves on fire. No, not even making any sense. Like, we're going to resist this nominee. Okay, you're going to resist. Like, what does that even mean? Someone like Senator Cory Booker, he was my favorite. He said that the Mueller investigation had to be over.
Oh, that's right.
Until the president could make enough.
I know. I mean, it was almost at the point where
another person who seems to need a copy of the Constitution.
Yeah, it seems as though I almost wanted to tell them, use your words, take a breath. Just relax. Now, it's fascinating because just for grins, I like to amuse myself. Yes, I am a card-carrying, deplorable conservative, okay? Let's just put that out there. I flipped over just a minute after President Trump made the announcement. I flipped over to CNN for amusement purposes only. It took them all of 1 minute for them to call him a political operative, mentioning that Dick Durbin had called him the Forrest Gump, and of course referring to Brett Kavanaugh of Republican politics. You had to love it. But here's the question, okay? He spent 12 years on the D.C. circuit. He has quite the expansive paper trail, some 300 rulings, if I'm not mistaken, to his credit. But my understanding is that won't necessarily work against him because there aren't any rulings, at least to our knowledge, that can really torpedo him when it comes to the Senate.
Yeah, and I think that that's why so many of the commentators were depressed last night. I think, it rivaled only election night in 2016, some of the faces that you saw. I agree. I was flipping through some of the coverage. I like to, flip among the different news channels just to get like a little, flavor of everything that's going on. And I saw, I went over to CNN and I saw Jeffrey Toobin saying, the top of the hour analysis was, imagine that you're Merrick Garland or Hillary Clinton tonight. I was like, I immediately just turned the station. I was like, this is just like, this is completely unhinged. But yeah, so I mean, and that's what I think, people are upset about. The fact that this is a jurist that has such a storied career, has such a lengthy career on the DC circuit. It's like the president said yesterday, he's a judge's judge. And he has a lot of respect from people on both sides of the political spectrum. And, I think that he was out of all the different picks that the president could have chosen. And of course, the president did give us a window into his thinking on this before the election was even decided. Right. He gave us this list in advance. And so, Judge Kavanaugh, hopefully future Justice Kavanaugh, was on that list. And, I think that he like the others, on that list really show a fidelity to the Constitution. And, I think he more than, some of the others maybe, was probably the easiest to confirm.
Now, here's the real questions, and God love the Republicans, but in this situation, will they actually present a unified front? Now, there's been a lot of talk about Democrats, Heidi Heitkamp and Donnelly out of Indiana, Joe Manchin out of West Virginia, who, by the way, all voted for Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch. But if the Republicans can hold ranks, this can sail through. But I'm a little bit concerned, particularly when it comes to Rand Paul, because, Rand Paul votes no on everything.
Well, we did see that Senator Paul put out a statement last night saying that he was going to meet with Judge Kavanaugh and he was going to keep an open mind. And so I think that was a good start. And, look, I think the goal here is to get a simple majority. And as you mentioned, with Justice Gorsuch, we were able to pull over 3 Democrats. And look, we have Republicans on our side that might have particular sort of, nitpicky reasons for wanting to oppose the pick. But on the Democratic side, there are plenty of Democrats who, have a lot of reasons to support this pick. And that is especially true if you're one of these 10 Democrats, that's running in a state 10 Senate Democrats, I should say, that's running in a state the president won in 2016. 5 of those states he won by 15 points or more. And so if you're Claire McCaskill and you've previously opposed, Justice Gorsuch, but not only that, you've also voted against the president's tax cuts, you voted against, repealing Obamacare, and you've sort of just generally been a thorn in his side. This seems, for such a qualified jurist like Judge Kavanaugh, this just seems like a layup for Claire McCaskill, for Bill Nelson, for Joe Manchin, just to go out there and support the pick because, they don't have a lot of other things to show for in terms of supporting the president or reaching across the aisle.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, gearing up for the battle royale. But, that's modern day politics, right?
That's definitely the state in which we live. Unfortunately, gone are the days of sort of a more refined Senate process where we would see these confirmation votes 99-0. For a particular nominee. Everything has become a spectacle. Everything has become a fundraising opportunity, a potential YouTube video. And so, but I think that the president chose well, and this is someone that we're going to get across the finish line.
Yeah, whatever happened to putting country ahead of party? I don't know. Discussion for another time. Alex, thanks so much for your analysis. Thanks for your time this morning as well.
Thanks so much for having me.
You bet. Alex Smith. 647 now, 1310 KFKA, 1310 KFKA.